Hello, how are y'all doing? I am Jawan Sloan and I own the clothing brand Try Love. And today I'm just going to be talking about the changes that I was making to that clothing brand that I started over 2 years ago. And I feel like I haven't really grown to the point that I envisioned when I started it. So I looked into it. I started doing some research stuff I should have done as soon as I started. But I was ignorant. I was just young and excited to start my own clothing brand. I didn't do things the right way. So as I started doing research, I started noticing some changes I needed to make to get to the point I saw myself at when I started my clothing brand. And I'm going to talk to you guys about them today, and we're going to get right into it. Okay, so the first change that I want to make to my clothing brand, I am going to change the name. Now, when I started this video, I said it by the name I'm going to be going by. When I started it, I originally called my clothing brand Try Love Apparel. So I'm basically just dropping off the apparel because I don't know any major clothing brands that have apparel in the name. You can think of every clothing brand you can think of, anyone that's major and doing extremely successful. I can't think of one that has apparel in the title, so I'm dropping it. Okay. Now this is a very simple change. I just go through all my socials. I start deleting the apparel. Try Love on Instagram. Try Love on TikTok, YouTube. The only social that gave me any type of difficulty was Facebook. When I tried to change my name, I had to Google how to change your name on Facebook. I followed the instructions, changed and deleted it, retyped it to just Try Love. It didn't change. I went back the next day. It was the exact same. So I tried to go back and do it again, and they didn't even give me the option to change it again. So I'm not sure what's going on with Facebook. I'm gonna have to probably get uh, some assistance from somebody that's on the customer support or something. But that's the only social that I haven't been able to change the name on. So it's still Try Love Apparel on Facebook. Now it is also still Try Love Apparel on my domain because I bought my website name tryloveapparel.com 2 years ago when I started my clothing brand. Well, about a year ago. It was a year later. And I bought that domain through 2029. It was like $279 or something like that. And now that I want to change it to trylove.shop and take the apparel off, uh, I will be wasting quite a bit of money by not continuing to use tryloveapparel.com. So I was kind of at a crossroads with that. Do I want to change it so it matches on my socials? Do I just want to stick with Try Love Apparel through 2029, which is a really long time? I didn't know. So right now, I feel like I'm just going to stick with tryloveapparel.com as my domain. I already bought tryloveapparel.shop. Uh, and hopefully, if my brand grows and I start to make more money or whatever, maybe the loss won't seem as bad. But right now, I just don't want to throw away 200 some odd dollars to drop the apparel off the domain uh, and go from trylove.com to go to trylove.com from tryloveapparel.com. So I don't know. So the domain's going to stay the same. Eventually, the Facebook will change. But the first change I'm making to my clothing brand is I'm going from Try Love Apparel to Try Love. That's the first change I'm making. The second change I'm making to my clothing brand is how I am getting my clothing items in and how I am shipping them out. Right now, I'm doing it a really odd way and it's extremely inefficient. So basically, uh, because I wanted the people on my website to have a lot of options from like hoodie, because the design is very simple, as you can see it on this shirt. It's very simple. So I wanted people to have a lot of options about what color hoodie they wanted and what color they want the design to be. They might want green hoodie, black letters, or white hoodie, gold letters, red hoodie, blue letters. You don't know. I don't know. So I was like, I want to give them all the option to have all of them. Okay. So in doing that, now if somebody orders a hoodie, I have to see what they ask for. Oh, okay, blue hoodie. Order the hoodie, wait for it to get to me, put the design color that they asked for on it, and then ship it to them. So it's adding 2 days onto the shipping process because I have to wait and see what hoodie color they want instead of just having, oh, okay, the only hoodies I'm selling right now are black ones with white designs. That way, as soon as somebody order, I just ship it straight to them. When what size? Okay, ship it straight to them. Bam. And then when I'm sold out, I'm sold out. Okay. I didn't want to go that route, so now I have to add time onto the shipping process. So now I have to add time onto the shipping process. And on top of that, when I order the hoodie or a clothing item, whatever it is, I have to order so many to get free shipping. So now when I just order one clothing item, I have to pay more for that item because I didn't buy enough to get the free shipping. So I have to pay for shipping. And then I have to pay for shipping to ship it to them. Now I can charge that when the customer pays for shipping. Yeah, but that doesn't cover the shipping that I had to pay for when I got the item in. So it's just cutting into my profit with each item I sell because I'm choosing to do it this way. So obviously that's stupid. I should have stopped it a long time ago, but here we are. No better time than the present, so I'm gonna stop it right now. But I'm not going to stop it until I get my first shipment in from the new manufacturer that I'm going to go with. And once I get those items in and I can put those on my site, and once I sell out, I sell out. Until I have that option, I don't want to just take my website down and just be sitting dormant. Until then, I would just take the less profit to give the people the colors they want. So I still have options on my website if somebody wants to choose to support my brand. Or, I just want them to have that option. So I don't want to have nothing. So I'm going to keep doing it until I start getting my shipments in and I start selling set items, set number. And then when I sell out until I get my next batch. So that's the second change I'm making. I am changing the way I get my clothing items in and the way I ship them out. I'm switching manufacturers. I'm leaving the American manufacturer and going to an overseas manufacturer. There's obviously pros and cons to this. With the American manufacturer, you get the items faster, probably a day or two. And with the overseas one, that you'll get the items much, much slower. Obviously, the shipping prices are absolutely ridiculous, but you get each item cheaper. And I feel like you get a just as good quality item, if not better, for a cheaper price. The issue is just the shipping time. Now, if you plan ahead, the shipping time doesn't matter a lot. Like, let's say I want to make a drop in, and when the fall starts in September, it's June. So if I know I want to sell a certain type of hoodie or beanie or whatever, I can just order it early, and then it doesn't matter if it takes 8 weeks to get here because I have plenty of time to get the hoodies in, design them, put them up on the website. If that makes sense. So the shipping time, honestly, not a big deal to me. The only thing that is a real con to me with going overseas with the manufacturer is the shipping costs, because the shipping costs are absolutely ridiculous. But there's pros and cons to either way you do it. So I tried the American manufacturer for a while. I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to go with the overseas manufacturer and just eat the shipping costs and see how that goes and how that does for my sales and the quality of items I have to choose from and things of that nature. So that's the second change I'm going to make. The third change I will be making to my brand is I am going to start making short form and long form content. As you see here, I'm going to start making long form content on YouTube, and the short form content will go on my Instagram, I have a Twitter, I don't know, X. I don't know if I'm going to use it, and I don't really like that social. So I'm going to for sure use Instagram and TikTok. That's for my short form content. So short form, Instagram and TikTok, I'll put those on the screen, and then long form here on TikTok on this channel. And I think all of my ads on those are at Shop Try Love. But we'll see. I might have it. You'll see. I'll put them up on the screen. So yes, basically the reason for the content is that you got to get yourself out there. Okay. I am my best option for free advertising. Get your face out there, get people to see your face, get people to associate the brand with an owner. And I think that people just prefer that. If they like the owner, they're more apt to support you and what it is that you stand for, what you're trying to do. So I'm just trying to get myself out there, be my own advertising, and grow my brand and its popularity that way. And obviously, along with that, I'm going to start advertising. And just about every social gives you that option. You can make a post, you can pay boost a post, you can pay Facebook, they'll advertise your page for you, and things of that nature. So I'm gonna start investing in those and just seeing if I can get my brand and my website in front of more faces, because the more faces you get in front of, the more people will visit the website. The more people that visit the website, the more people that are apt to buy something from the website, and that is money in your pocket, and that's good for me, it's good for my brand. So that's the third change I'm going to make. I'm going to start advertising, and I'm going to start making content to get my brand and my face out there to more people. All right, the next change I will be making is not really a change, it's kind of just reining myself in. So right now I had started to venture to adding different designs to my clothing items, my shirts and my hoodies, things of that nature. I'm gonna rein that in. I'm not gonna start making a whole bunch of different designs when the brand hasn't even grown to a respectable place yet, if that makes sense. So I want people, I'm gonna stick to the one design. I know it's a very simple design, but that's just kind of what I like. I'm not a real flashy, guy type of guy. So I'm not gonna have a real graphic type of design on my hoodies, on my shirts, and things of that nature. I might eventually get to that point once the brand grows. But as of right now, I'm gonna stick to my design. It's simple. It's a phrase. I like it. I believe it pushes positivity. So I'm gonna stick with it. So I'm not gonna start making a whole bunch of different designs. I'm gonna start reining those in. I already start taking them off my website. I'm gonna just stick to this one, and I have another one I have just made, and this is gonna be those two, and it's very similar to this one, but it's just a slightly different variation, just to give somebody an option. They might really like a certain color, and they want two of them, but not the exact same. And then you have those two options. So I'm just gonna rein in the amount of designs. I'm gonna stick to two. And I'm not going to make any past that until I grow to a point that I feel like I can afford to where people can see that, oh, that's Try Love. They see the heart. They can associate that with the brand. You know, they know, oh, that's a Try Love hoodie. If I want it, I can go to trylove.com and get my own, things of that nature. So I just want the brand and the design to be more recognizable before I start branching off and doing a whole bunch of different designs. And the brand hasn't even grown to a point that I can get away with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just condense it down, simplify it, and focus on growing the brand, and not so much on making 1,000 different designs when I'm struggling to get the people, get a whole bunch. You just want people to buy the one. Like, I'll be cool if you buy one. I don't need you to buy 100. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna rein that in, be more focused on my designs, stick to one or two, grow the brand's recognition, grow the design's recognition, and focus on that, and not make 100 different designs. Okay, so that's the next change I'm making. And the last and final change I'll be talking about on this video is I am changing, and I'm glad you guys won't get to see this because I have changed them already. The pictures I had on my website, they just weren't good. They were kind of rushed and lazy. And it's not even that I feel like the pictures I have now are just so professional. They're just so much better than what I had. And I feel like I was cheating myself out of sales because the pictures of the product was just so bad. And now that I've made them better, you know what I'm saying? Eventually I have models for the hoodies, and eventually I want to get to where I have models for the t-shirts and the beanies and everything else that I have on the joggers. But until I get to that point when I'm just taking a picture of the clothing, of just the shirt or just the hoodie without a model, that quality of picture was just so bad. And in another video, I'll just show y'all what my pictures used to look like compared to what they look like now. Even if they're not perfect now, they're so much better than what they used to be. And it was way more important than I was giving it credit. And my wife was telling me constantly, Juwan, you gotta take better pictures. You gotta take better pictures. You gotta take better pictures. And I was like, man, that's just so petty. I'm focusing on getting a brand, blah, 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 whatever excuse I was giving. It was dumb. All right. I needed to take better pictures. And now I have taken better pictures. They're still not quite to the quality I want them at, but I'm tweaking them. I'm still working on them. I'm still perfecting the craft of taking good pictures for my website. And hopefully the ones that are there now are at least serviceable until I absolutely perfect the craft and take better pictures for my website. So those are the 5 changes I'll be making to my website. I'm changing the name. I'm changing how I'm getting getting out my clothing. I'm going to start advertising myself and my brand. I'm going to condense down the number of designs I have so the brand becomes more recognizable. And I'm starting to take better pictures of the products for my website and for the short form content that I'll be making on TikTok and Instagram. And I will see, and we're going to document how all these changes will affect sales. I'm going to make another video. I'm going to show you how many people I have visiting my website for May, because now it's June. I'm going to make all these changes, and in a month from now, I'm going to say, okay, we had this many in May and June, and in July we have this amount. I made this many sales in May and June, and in July I have this amount. So we're just going to track the growth, track what changes make the biggest impact, and which changes make a small impact, and which changes make none. And hopefully me and the people watching this will be able to learn from it. Maybe somebody that also wants to start a clothing brand, they can avoid the mistakes I made. And that's all I want from this. You know, I just want to grow my brand and hopefully inspire somebody or deter somebody from making some of the same mistakes I made when I started mine. So that's all for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.